About 2 years ago, a cat in my neighborhood named Socks gave birth to 2 kittens. Shortly after, one of the kittens fell down a 6-foot-high cinder block wall. While, with the help of kind volunteers, me and my family were able to rescue the kitten, it begs the question of what would have happened if we didn't notice the kitten fell in the hole. This is the tragedy of stray cat populations. Today, I will attempt to persuade you to volunteer for TNR organizations so that you can help mitigate this pain. I'll be discussing 3 main points. One is the damage that stray cat populations can cause. Second is the ways that you can help mitigate this damage with TNR organizations. And the third is a visualization of what the future could look like with less cats roaming the streets. According to the Las Vegas Journal, 200 to 400,000 feral cats roam the streets of Las Vegas. That's about twice as many cats as there are indoor cats. These cats can have devastating consequences. For one, according to a study by Nutter in 2004, the kitten mortality rate is a staggering 75%. Unfortunately, their lives do not get much better as they get older, as stray cats are prone to many hardships, including hunger, illness, and injury, according to Fulcinetti in 2021. They're not the only ones suffering, though, as other wildlife, particularly birds, are often victims of predation to these large cat populations. According to a study by Scott R. Loss in 2013, 1.3 to 4 million birds are killed a year from cats. Cats can also spread diseases to humans in the form of things like rabies, ringworms, and cat scratch fever. Now that we have discussed the harm that these large stray cat populations can pose to us, we can discuss ways that you can help mitigate this issue. The best way to do this is to team up with TNR organizations. TNR standing for Trap, Neuter, Release. As the name implies, you trap the cats in cages, deliver them to local TNR clinics, and then after the surgery, you release them back to where they were. There are multiple jobs you can do for TNR clinics. One of them is trapping the cats themselves. You will need a cage as well as bait food, which will both be provided to you by the organization. Another job is caring for the cats post-surgery. This includes giving them a safe and quiet environment to recover with lots of food and water. After 1 to 3 days, the cats should be able to leave. Another more underrated thing is managing phone calls for these organizations. This includes answering calls for people requesting TNR and answering any questions they may have about the process. If you don't have the time for doing any of these things, you can still help in other ways. You can donate money, food, or bedding to these organizations. Every little bit counts. You can also notify them whenever you see untipped cats. Tipped meaning that they were spayed and neutered, which you can tell by a small notch in their ear. It is also incredibly important to notify them whenever you see pregnant cats or kittens. One thing to note is that kittens can give birth as young as 4 months old. This is why it is so important to notify them so that they do not continue this cycle. Now that we have discussed ways you can help, I want you to visualize a future where stray cat colonies are not as prevalent in this urban landscape. One of the benefits of this is that less unhappy cats, since less cats will have to deal with the hardships of the outdoor lifestyle, and the cats that are TNR will generally be healthier because they have been vaccinated. Another benefit is that the local wildlife will be much better off without this large population of cats to prey on. In conclusion, while it may seem like an uphill battle, your contribution can truly make a difference. Cats are truly amazing creatures that deserve to live long, stress-free lives, and the people that volunteer for these organizations need all the help they can get.